Good morning, Kipsters. Welcome to day 2 of working with coordinate geometry. I know that you've probably recognized and worked with tables before. I think about the first, either the top or that first column as the input. Whatever comes in, something happens to it and it comes out as a different number. So I put in the 1 to the machine. It seems to grow to a 4. So that would make me think, well, I'm either going to multiply or I'm going to add. So am I multiplying times 4 or am I just adding 3? Well, let's go to the second row. A 2 goes into the machine and a 5 comes out. 2 times 4 is 8. So it can't be multiplied by 4. I'm actually adding 3 to every input, because 3 plus 3 is 6, to get my output. So 4 plus 3, my last output would be 7. If I think about an equation, basically I'm just taking this rule plus 3, and I'm putting it, let's say, okay, all of my inputs, those take this letter, this variable f. So if I take all of my input, any input, and I add 3 to them, that is going to give me the letter for my output, which is H. Because if I put in F, let's say F is 1, so if that becomes the 1 plus 3, that equals 4, and double check, that lines up with one of my H's. So really these letters represent any input I could have, or the H, any output I could have. Let's go down to the third one. So my input represents the insects, and the letter to represent my input is an N. My output, so here's my input. Sorry, sometimes it's hard to see. And my output are the number of legs that the insects have, and that's the letter G. So let's see, I'm increasing from 1 to 6, from 2 to 12, from 3 to 18. So it's either an add or a multiplication. 1 plus 5 is 6, but 2 plus 5 isn't 12, so it's not the addition. 1 times 6, 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 6 is 18, so 4 times 6 is 24. So now if I think about my equation, remember I take any input, and remember N represents the inputs, and I multiplied it by 6. Now multiplying is really cool to write in an equation. You actually put it in front of your equation, and you don't even have to write the multiplication sign. It becomes smushed together. Pretend there was a tiny invisible multiplication sign in between. So 6n, which really means 6 times my input, is going to give me my G, my output. The only time I take away that sign is with multiplication. So go ahead and try the bottom, and stop when you get to the very bottom and raise your hand, guys. So stop when you get all the way down here, raise your hand so I can ask your treasure chest question, and you can go on to the next worksheet.